Is the most wonderful time of the year the most loneliest time of the year for you? For many of us on the spectrum, we may feel lonelier than normal during this holiday season. In this video, I'm going to share with you what you can do to give yourself some joy during this season if you are feeling lonely. So let's get started. Hey, Define Yourselfers, I am Chris Mitchell, aka The Confident Autistic, from theconfidentautistic.com. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, welcome. Glad that you chose to watch this video. It means a lot to me, and I hope you enjoy it and find other videos on the channel that is just as informative, if not more so, than this one. I am an autistic adult, late diagnosed, a multi-certified life coach, an advocate for autistic adults who is on a mission to empower you to embrace autism confidently. Now, there are several ways you can help support my mission, including liking, sharing, and commenting on this video, and of course, by subscribing to this channel. When you do subscribe to the channel, do not forget to ring the bell to be notified of new videos and when I go live with my weekly Q&A session. The Christmas season is portrayed as a time of the year we should be surrounded by loud noises, bright lights, and strong smells. All these things and more can fuel our sensory sensitivities. And on top of that, the crowds we are expected to endure when we go out in public, and the expectations of office parties and family gatherings adds to our normal struggle with social anxiety and challenges our communication skills. Instead of joining in on all the fun that is often not inclusive for our needs as autistic adults, we choose to or feel forced into retreating. And this act often leads to us feeling lonely during this so-called joyful season. Now, if you're not sure if you're feeling lonely during this holiday season, the simple thing you should do, you should be honest with yourself about how you're feeling. If you're feeling lonely, tell yourself that it's okay to feel lonely. There's no shame in it. Give yourself permission to explore the feelings of loneliness and try to determine why you're feeling lonely at this time of the year. If your loneliness is being caused by expectations you feel from our society and culture during this season to be around others, you should manage and adjust your expectations. First, spend some time in quiet reflection. Consider treating the holiday as the perfect time for rest and self-care rather than focusing on external pressures. Because if you're going to be alone during the holiday season, feeling isolated, whether it's by your own choice or because people go their separate ways and you don't have anyone to go and hang out with during the holidays, and that's not a bad thing. Don't look at the negative, look at the positive. This is extra self-care time you can have for yourself to reflect upon the past year and look forward to the following year. This is perfect bonus self-care time, so embrace it as such. During your self-care time, you can remind yourself that you do not need to conform to typical holiday norms or society's expectations of what we should be doing during the holidays. Give yourself permission to celebrate the holidays in a way that makes you feel comfortable. If you're starting to feel guilty about being alone this holiday season, remind yourself that it's okay to be alone because the most important person you need to take care of is you. We may have a lot of expectations. We need to be at this family party. It would mean so much to Uncle Bob. Well, your mental health means more to you than anything that means to your Uncle Bob. Put yourself first. When you really need it, put yourself first. Although being alone is all right, being alone, isolated, and doing nothing is not okay because it can lead to increased depression along with additional mental health issues. So, along with seeking professional support from a therapist familiar with autism, if this is warranted in your case, it is important for you to create a plan to combat loneliness so you can survive, if not thrive, during the holiday season. So, here's some strategies to make the season feel less isolating for you as an autistic adult. First, create your own traditions by choosing activities you enjoy doing, such as watching your favorite movies, TV shows, sporting events, etc., or engage in building something, possibly crafting or baking. These activities can become comforting annual tradition for yourself. And this is true. When I feel lonely during the holiday seasons, uh, as an autistic adult, not having any family, not married at the time, not having any kids around me, just all by myself in my one bedroom apartment, I created the tradition on Christmas Eve, that is, to watch the Honeymooners Christmas Special. It's an old TV show, and that I recorded off of KTVU in San Francisco many years ago. Then I watched A Miracle on 34th Street, the original one with Maureen O'Hara in it. And then I followed that up by Scrooged with Bill Murray, making sure it ended at midnight. And that was my tradition. And it kind of helped me forget that I was all alone in the holiday season. And it gave me something to look forward to doing during Christmas Eve when a lot of families are gathering together to start their Christmas time together. That was my tradition, and it really helped me. Now, you can also decorate your home with sensory friendly decorations. Just because you are alone during the holiday season and feeling isolated does not mean that a little Christmas cheer would not help you make it through the season. Create a calming and sensory friendly space that feels festive to you. And be sure to engage in your special interests. Spending time during the holiday diving into hobbies or interests that bring you joy can help you combat feelings isolated and alone during the holidays. One of the best things you can do to fight off loneliness during the holiday season is to plan for the day. When you create a structured schedule for Christmas Day, you can reduce your feelings of loneliness, aimlessness, and or anxiety about the holiday. I know creating a schedule is really cool to me. It gives my mind something to do, and I can map it out and plan it out. And that gives us a routine. Because on Christmas Day, whether we're with people or alone, our normal routine more than likely is going to be shattered. At the worst, maybe just damaged a little bit. But we got to have a special routine for Christmas. So create one for yourself and stick to it. So when you're planning for Christmas Day, be sure to come up with some backup activities. Be prepared with comforting or engaging activities for times when loneliness might, more likely, will hit hardest. However, feeling lonely does not mean you need to be isolated from the world. In fact, it is better if you do something to combat some of the loneliness you may experience. This can be achieved by connecting with others at a level that is comfortable for you. You may want to start by reaching out to friends, family, or others via text, email, or video chat. These types of interactions can be less stressful than structured conversations. What I do in a lot of holidays to help me get through the holidays and my feelings of isolation, because I don't have a lot of family that I hang out with or that wants to hang out with me or even exist, because like I mentioned before, my wife and I were not parents. We never had kids. Is on these days, I would text a family that I know. Oh, I have the cell phone numbers too. Friends that I have their phone numbers to, etc., and wish them Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, whatever the occasion is. And then throughout the day, many of them would text me back. and say the same. And it cuts down my feelings of loneliness and isolation during the holiday season. You can also try joining an online community such as forums, Facebook groups, including our group, Autistic Adults Embracing Autism. A link to that group is in the video description, or a Discord servers that are tailored for autistic adults, or a group of people who have a shared interest that you are interested in. No matter what that is. Maybe it can be something as odd as, or I don't know, collecting toy buses. Whatever it is, believe me, there's somebody else who had that interest. Might be hard to find them at first, but they do exist. There are a lot of people out there. You're not that weird, okay? Let me just tell you that. And you can do this by interacting with the people from these groups virtually from your safe space in your home. Now, by doing this, you can feel less overwhelmed than meeting people in public places that are often crowded, noisy, and can cause you social anxiety. And if you're up to it and you need a break from being alone, attend some local or community events that are autism friendly gatherings, especially those who are offering quiet spaces. Volunteering is just one way you can practice an act of kindness. Another way is by creating or buying small gifts to give to neighbors or acquaintances. Remember, acts of kindness can boost your mood, your morale, your self confidence, your self esteem, and it basically is good for you. And you think the act of kindness is for the other person? In a way, it is. But the act of kindness is more for yourself. And it's a great way to practice self care and self love. Now, if Christmas is not your thing or just too hard for you to work through, consider celebrating other timelines. Now, you could celebrate New Year's and spend this time reflecting upon the last year, looking forward to the next year, setting your goals for the next year's, whatever you want to do. Or you can create your own holiday and its own traditions that suits you for your own needs. A great example is the creation of Festivus. Now, that's a secular holiday celebrated on December 23rd and originated from the childhood experiences of Seinfeld writer Dan O'Keefe. Now, if things get bad for you this holiday season, reach out for help. There's no shame in doing so. Remember, asking for help is not a weakness, it's a superpower of yours. When the loneliness and or isolation from or during this holiday season becomes too much for you, reach out to a support line. And you can do that by texting or calling 988 in the United States. You can also engage in an online chat with the fine folks at 988 via their website. And their website is 988lifeline.org. A link to that is in the video description. Now, when you reach out to 988, whether it be by a phone call, text, or an online chat, trained personnel are available 24 hours a day and 7 days a week to help you when you need it. Now it's your turn. What do you do to combat the loneliness and isolation you feel during the holiday season as an autistic adult? Share your thoughts by commenting on this video or joining the conversation in our Facebook group, Autistic Adults Embracing Autism. A link to that group is in the video description. Now, I try to respond to every single comment that is posted, but I'm not able to always. But I do read each and every single one of them. So please continue commenting on the video and let me know what your thoughts are. And if you have a suggestion for a topic for a video, shoot them to me as well. Share them in the comments as well. And who knows, I may do a video on that topic. I'd love to have your input. So until next time, this is the Confident Autistic reminding you of two things. One, have a happy and joyous holiday season, no matter how you celebrate it and who you celebrate it with, even if you celebrate it alone. And secondly, regardless of the fact that it's the holiday season, now is the perfect time for you to embrace autism confidently. Join me live Thursday nights for the Confident Autistic Live, where I answer your questions. We discuss this week's videos, offer support, and more. The fun starts Thursday at 7 p.m. Central Time in the US of A. Be sure to click the bell when you subscribe to the channel to be notified when the party begins.